Dr. Cortex is the mad scientist after world domination in Crash Bandicoot, but it turns out he's kind of Crash's dad. He creates him and then releases him because he doesn't think he's good enough. Turns out he is pretty damn good, and because of that, Cortex spends his time trying to kill him. He's also set on making mutant animals, and he's got to stick up his jacksie because people ridiculed him when he was younger. His evil Uka Uka mask doesn't help his attitude either, but really he's just a scared man, so that's why he gets his place in the top 10. Up next from the Sonic series, we have Dr. Eggman. I mean, you probably wouldn't be a happy person if you were shaped like an egg and had a crazy pink nose and a hedgehog that was getting on your nerves, but I don't think that that's any reason to turn into a horrible villain that wants to conquer the world. Unfortunately, this short-tempered bonkers scientist is pretty relentless and will pop up in most of the 2D Sonic games as a boss on pretty much every level. Can't he give it a rest? Bad egg. This futuristic villain comes in the form of GLaDOS, the passive-aggressive robot, and the game really strives from her character being involved. It's ingenious and adds to the game's narrative. She's psychologically abusive, but also comes after you with fire pits and the likes. Sadistic. You can't mention a list of villains without including Bowser. The King of Koopa is Mario's ultimate nemesis, and this might be because, well, he well fancies Princess Peach and wants to keep her by his side for when he eventually rules the Mushroom Kingdom. He's a steroid version of the rest of his Koopa clan, like the jock in school that wants the pretty blonde girlfriend and thinks he deserves her because he's big and muscly and has horns. Bowser needs to learn you don't get a girl by kidnapping her. Being a child killer definitely earns you a place in this top 10, Mr. Origami Killer, sir. Not only that, but the Origami Killer sets up sadistic trials that the child's father has to complete in order to save their kid, leaving a litter of origami gifts on each victim. These are presents you definitely don't ever want to receive. Next up, Wesker, that nasty blonde-haired one from Resident Evil who's always messing stuff up behind the scenes. Initially a second character who assists Lisa Trevor, Wesker steps it up a notch when he injects himself with the T-virus, giving himself superhuman strength, speed and regeneration, but at the expense of his soul and humanity. Basically, he's the epitome of badass, and while being impressed by his skills, you shouldn't forget that there is an evil, evil man behind it all. Chris! Okay, that was rubbish. I'll hand it over to Albert.
Thanks.
Kefka Palazzo is a nasty clown. He's definitely one of the worst bosses in the Final Fantasy series, killing thousands of men, women and children just because he's bored. He has no vengeful reasons, no specific missions to complete as an excuse for his behaviour. He's just a psycho. To put it into perspective, he is regularly compared to the Dark Knight's Joker for his burning desire to destroy the world and potentially bad face paint, and that's what makes Kefka a massively horrible villain. The violent and unpredictable Vaas definitely earns his place in this list because he's an absolute mentalist. His hobbies include mass murder, killing innocent people and ransoming hostages, so that's just a little idea of the kind of guy he is. Vaas will go from calm and chilled out to full mental in a matter of seconds. There are a lot of words that can be used to describe this man, but to sum it all up, he's a monster. This demon boar-looking creature is Ganon, and he's the one that loves to kidnap Zelda. In most games he has the Triforce of Power, which makes him ridiculously strong and gives him boundless mystical power, and like many on this list, he's after world domination. Couple of things, he's an evil wizard and he will definitely make you cack your pants when he comes out of his human form, Ganondorf. Liquid Snake was cloned along with Solid and Solidus Snake in the Metal Gear Solid series, and Liquid just so happened to turn out to be the evil polar opposite of the game's hero Solid. His big issue is he's somehow convinced that he's the inferior clone and resents Solid for getting the better genetics. He's also really annoying because despite being defeated 3 times, he gets killed by a virus rather than by Solid. Oh, and then he turns up again after his arm gets transplanted on Revolver Ocelot and he takes over his brain. Cheers then.